Hi guys, welcome to my channel and to today's video. My name is Coach Steve, founder of Joy and Success Coaching. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick review of this book I've picked up recently, Zen in the Martial Arts by Joe Hyams. Read from the back real quick. Under the guidance of such celebrated masters as Ed Parker and the immortal Bruce Lee, Joe Hyams vividly recounts his more than 25 years of experience in the martial arts. In his illuminating story, Hyams reveals to you how the daily application of Zen principles not only developed his physical expertise, but gave him the mental discipline to control his personal problems, self-image, work pressure, competition. Indeed, mastering the spiritual goals in the martial arts can dramatically alter the quality of your life, enriching your relationships with people as well as helping you make full use of your abilities. So, to get a little more into the author, Joe Hyams began his writing career as a U.S. Army combat correspondent in the South Pacific during World War II. In 1951, he had joined the New York Herald Tribune and was soon sent to Hollywood as the West Coast bureau chief. Within a few months of that, he became the paper's most widely syndicated columnist, with more than 3,000 news stories to his credit. He also went on to be a biographer and to do writing work for biographies of Humphrey Bogart and others, I believe, possibly even Chuck Norris as well. But in this book came out in 1979 and was released by Bantam Books. It was reprinted in 1982, and this is a short book of only about 135 pages or so. Throughout this, there are probably roughly 20 chapters, maybe a few more, but most of the chapters are really short. I think the shortest being literally 1 page only, one of the longer chapters being maybe 5 or 6 pages. Most of it is his own personal experience, the author Joe, doing martial arts with a wide variety of acclaimed names such as Ed Parker, Bruce Lee, and others, some of whom are quintessential in founding the governing sports authorities for their respective arts, Hapkido or Kenpo. So throughout the book, Joe talks about a lot of his direct experience and the lessons he learned from training martial arts with these individuals and the way that it applies to more than just combat sports or self-defense, but that there are life lessons throughout. He does specify you do not need to practice martial arts to find a way to apply Zen to your life. And you can apply Zen without it coming even from an intentional, I guess, Eastern philosophy, that it is something you can access. And he lays out a lot of things that for 1979 are really kind of forward thinking. A lot of it talks about things that are still very popular in self-development today: time management, resilience, self-awareness, kind of need for self-care and rest. Throughout all of the chapters, there are various photographs. The photographs were provided by a Kenneth McGowan and a Doug Coder. I'm not going to show all of them, but I did want to highlight this one, if I can get it on screen on here for you. It is a picture of a couple guys touching hands. It's a Wing Chun drilling technique called Chi Sao. You kind of pretty much start to feel where your opponent's energy is moving and going, and you find a way to break through. But it talks about inactive inactivity. Throughout this, there is also various different quotes at the end of every chapter, just about. Quotes from anyone from Sun Tzu to Bruce Lee. Got one right here from Bruce Lee. You and your opponent are one. There is a coexisting relationship between you. You coexist with your opponent and become his complement, absorbing his attack and using his force to overcome him. and various lessons like that all throughout the book. One from Lao Tzu: softness triumphs over hardness, feebleness over strength. What is more malleable is always superior over that which is immovable. This is the principle of controlling things by going along with them, of mastery through adaptation. And yeah, those types of quotes complement just about every chapter. Talks about a couple of concepts such as mushin, the Japanese concept of sort of almost muscle memory and instinctual understanding, when to move, when not to move, how much force to use. And he talks about how some of these lessons were even able to apply to other sports. He talks about being an avid tennis player in the book and how some of these lessons about patience and waiting for the right moment to strike served well in other non-combat sports for him. I definitely think with its short page length at 133 pages, it could be read through in a single day. And it's got a lot of really great, still applicable information for being a book written over 40 years ago. A lot of the practices for achieving a more zen and emotionally regulated life are still in practice today. So yeah, Joe Hyams' Zen in the Martial Arts is definitely worth a read, even if you are not a big fan of martial arts or a practitioner. There's a lot of interesting quotes in here from highly accomplished people outside of Ed Parker. He talks about his time working with Sterling Silliphant, who was a big screenwriter in Hollywood at the time. Actually, him, Bruce Lee, and Sterling Silliphant all used to practice right there in his driveway out in California. If you could picture a couple of guys there in full headgear in a suburban lot there with some guy just duking it out, the neighbors probably like, what the hell's going on with those guys? But they enjoyed themselves. They learned, they grew, and he was able to write a great book about the learning and the growth he experienced. So check it out. See what he has to say about his experience working with accomplished masters and the things that they in turn even learned from their masters, because as the one chapter is titled, even your master has a master. So continue learning, continue growing, and continue watching the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all of the things, and I'm looking to talk more with you guys in the coming year. You leave a comment below and let me know how you're doing, how everything's going. Until then, I'm wishing you the best of joy and success. You guys take it easy.